So I think I talked about it a little bit. I'm pretty much on repeat, like a broken record, but let me tell you more about Cindy and Bo Spence. If I traced it correctly and spoke with them, they're related to Diane, Aaron Flack's mother. Well, as I said, let me tell you more about Sam and Ruvana Bavard and Cindy and Bo Spence and Bethany Christian Church with Phyllis Maston, too, Nathaniel Abercrombie, law enforcement coming around a circle jerk, the Kehoe Rape Barn, Bruce Kehoe's property, Kehoe Rape Barn, and Aaron fucking Flack. So let me tell you how these people attacked me and then fabricated evidence and falsified documentation with their associates to make it all look like nothing ever happened. It was just an accident. This was caused by blunt force trauma, not from a fall, not from a car accident. Blunt force trauma. I'm the one that has to live with the symptoms while trying to get by, because those sick pieces of shit couldn't even admit what had happened, let alone their part in it. So who in the hell do I fucking sue with Kentucky legislators, some of whom were involved, creating legislation limiting the ability for sex trafficking victims to sue, all the while threatening to kill me? Now it's Mason, Fleming, Lewis counties, Fayette County, Laurel County, Oldham County, Jefferson County. Wonder which ones were involved. Maybe I'll just take some more Valium and go back to bed. Or shall I talk more about my friends and their goddamn illegal activities? I don't even think Chelsea invited me to her college graduation. I'm not cool enough, you know. I'm just a good time for a ride and to share expenses if needed. Sorry, you know, that's how you all have made me feel over the years. Thanks. So no, I have no problem saying what I'm saying about them. That's what kills me with those people. They try to make you feel guilty. Man, you shouldn't say that kind of stuff about us. We've been nothing but good to you. Yeah, threatening to get in my face with your fists like Aflac. Never inviting me out to the cool things, like the ride-outs. And then with Colin, no, I don't want to do what you want to do, but let's go to White Castle after we've been drinking all night and 2 in the morning. Grow the fuck up. Scotty won't go home with me either. Like I said, Matt Cassis introduced me to Colin for me to leave him alone a little bit more, and so that somebody could help keep Colin off Scotty Reese's nuts 24/7. Worked out pretty well for them, didn't it? Matt, anyway. Not so much for Scotty. I'm not helping in that area. She's going to keep running back to him every time, because he lets the dick fly freely. It's not that bad either. So, fuck my friends. I can say I do kind of miss Aflac with a smile on my face. Because believe it or not, and he knew it, my father was that way. Get in your face with a fist. And, you know. Plus, never mind. Kenda, I got pregnant before you and Aaron met. Oh, and I think it's hilarious. The Help. If you all have never seen The Help, you need to watch it. It's a good movie. I'm Celia Ray Foot. Like I said, I want to use the line so bad if I ever see Christy Boggs again. I got pregnant after you and Patrick broke up, but it just doesn't fit. People think I'm absolutely crazy. It tickles me and pulls me out of severe shit a lot of times. I don't give a damn what these other naysayers think that haven't had the suffering quite like I have. Granted, there are plenty of people in the world that have it far worse. I know that. I'm trying to help change those things. What the fuck doesn't the world understand? Gay kids, minority kids suffer immensely, trying to see that changed. People with no health care suffering endlessly, including minorities, and the gaslighting in medical. Trying to change that for the betterment of the world. It's not going to do me much good. And several other things. It is the Christian thing to do. Shall I find the broken heart letter that I posted publicly? I even drew a broken heart on it. Adlamictal trazodone. They had made me type that up a long time ago. We know what you're doing in Mason County. Of course you do. You all gave me permission to do it. You want the paperwork, Auntie Regina's statement, or Deputy Andrews' statement? Statements. Unless Mason County destroyed them with Kim Razor's signature. But let me tell you more about Bob Tribby and MCDC. Donald was representing them, remember? So try to limit my mentally ill word. Go right ahead. So many people will come out of the woodwork, you won't know what fucking hit you on paper. So, I'm pretty sure that constitutes a social tie that she, expressed favoritism, bias towards. Her, I'm assuming, brother-in-law, the Tribbys were, her dead nephew, I'm assuming it's her brother-in-law. Or her brother, whatever. I liked Blake, just FYI. So, that tie, yeah. The ties to the drug trade and the Crawfords and the date rape rollers, yeah. The ties to my brother-in-law and Patrick Boggs' wife's company where they tell you that, chronic pain should be treated with psych meds. There was another one in their little pamphlet. Oh, here it is. Judicial Conduct Commission. Let's see what she committed. Allowing family, social, or political relationships to influence judicial decision-making. Did I talk about Patrick Boggs and the canine people, the narcotics and canine? Engaging in improper political campaign activities, accepting resources from the drug trade, while campaigning with federally illegal substances in the goddamn room. Obstruction of justice, perjury, or filing a false document. Shall I post a copy of Comprehend again? The JCC said that they would not be taking my complaint seriously. Oh well. Oh well. Guess what? After I posted all those personal, confidential things, the legislators came up with new legislation stating, you know what? We're going to allow legals' complaints to go public for the first time in Kentucky history. Very good. You want to see the one I wrote about John Estill forcing me to give him a blowjob when I was a kid? I don't think I ever got anything in contact returned from them about the complaints I had filed. So I just assumed with Kim Razor's "he's crazy" signature, they said, whatever, this kid can't be listened to or trusted. If I did get something, I didn't get it. I don't see it in my pile of mail, and I just clean through it. Then again, after Kim Razor did her thing with he needs to be treated and medicated, as if I hadn't already been being medicated. I'm like a dementia patient. The most noticeable symptom of that annoys me half to death is taking the tea kettle off the stove to make my cup of tea before turning the burner off. Not to mention the cell phone thing. How in the hell does this setting work? What in the fuck's going on? Huge thank you to Kim Razor for further disabling me. All this because no one would take accurate reports, statements. No lawyer would step up to the plate and do anything. All the while threatening to kill me for taking legal action against them using outside legal counsel. But now, you do understand, not every lawyer in every state can come to a Kentucky case. Kentucky has to approve which states allow reciprocity. And those lawyers have to take a somewhat entrance exam in order to practice in Kentucky. It's sickening. Absolutely sickening, because I have lawyers, friends in other states that it's like, we'd love to come out there and do it, but we're not going to fucking take the entire Kentucky bar exam just to get our license to practice in Kentucky, unless you can, start pooling together a class action thing, but we won't file it as class action. Well, I'm working. I've had at least 10 people come forward with the same situation happening to them, mainly cops' kids. So yes, you all fly right on into Kentucky and do the goddamn bar exam bullshit. We'll have a, whatever you lawyers do with these things. So there's conversion reparative therapy, cops drugging and raping kids and making them commit bestiality. We've got, after that child porn leaking, Canadians asking for live shows, and there's Patrick and Christy meeting online and, starting to set up shop. Correct me if I'm wrong if I read the case file incorrectly. Why, yes, this sounds exactly how it happened. The internet. And I'll talk about it publicly until I'm blue in the face. For a few reasons. Like I said, Sheriff Boggs is going to have that badge as his punishment for a long, long time. He and Malibu Barbie aren't going anywhere, even if Mason County turns into a ghost town. Malibu Barbie! And that's how I turn trauma and terror into something I can survive. I will survive. Oh, as long as I know how to love, I know I'll stay alive. 'Cause I've got all my life to live, and I've got all my love to give. I will survive. I will survive. Hey, gay. So sleep disorders is a major symptom of TBI. And losing consciousness from having strokes due to this. Oh, I hate doctors now, too. Shall I talk about them touching me inappropriately? Not my new doctor. It was a sex ring, a sex and drug ring, no matter what these goddamn fucking assholes have to say. You all want to come at me. They came at me. You're talking about this stuff publicly. It can fuck up shit. You know, people can lose their lives. If we do even bother to do an investigation, it can fuck it up. You all had 30 years to do your fucking job. Obviously, you weren't going to do a goddamn thing because of who was involved. Therefore, the news stories and places can take care of it. Lying to us is a felony. You're hindering an investigation. And like I told them, the only thing hindering their investigation is their inabilities to stay out of the clean shit. I ought to know. You know how when some people go into a situation, whether they're a journalist or an undercover law enforcement officer, you have to get into some pretty dirty shit. And like I stated, sometimes bad people are good. Quite honestly, with all the different medical cannabis states that exist now, fuck Kentucky. And the people fighting for it there. The Crawfords, like I said, Julie Allen and Michelle Crawford. So shall I talk about Julie Allen's kids rolling at the downtown bars? And yes, I will go as far as I damn well please. As I stated under Mary Toller, DNA theft and heroin. Michelle Crawford and Mary Toller, the Lions Club at Orangeburg Volunteer Fire Department, where Michelle Crawford told me, let one of them get up off their fat asses and help clean up this mess after our festival, because me, as a non-member, offered to help. Maybe she used lazy asses, I don't remember. Normally I'm the one who uses the phrase fat ass. And I'm overweight. I have room to say it. You ought to see my hips. They get caught on everything. My bathroom, going into my bedroom, the doors are more narrow. My hip catches that handle all the time. Hits it harder than hell sometimes. And I'm like, ah, damn it. Kim Razor and her ties to the Crawfords and accepting resources from them for her campaign. Shall I talk about the heroin, the Molly, date rape shit, the cannabis, or Bob Tribby in more detail? Hell, let me pull up the Kentucky KRECC. The RECC article. Erica Michelle Crawford detailing how difficult it is for them to survive on his disability check, but they drive a brand new Charger. Just like before that, they drove a brand new Charger. Just like before that, they drove a brand new Cadillac Eldorado. Something tells me they don't have any problems paying their electric bill. I hate to say it because I do feel sorry for him. The first time I met them in person, I had to walk out of the room because I felt awful. He's worse off than I am, and all I do is bitch. But anyway, they paint a pretty sad sob story to the public, don't they? All the while me having to shovel cow shit by hand and moving right on and nobody asking one question. Like I said, I remember Bucky before he was in that goddamn chair. I'll be insensitive as well. So shall we talk about Erica Michelle and her ties to the Kentucky Nurses Association? Shall I talk about Matt Lewis and Erica Michelle Crawford's ties to Orangeburg Volunteer Fire Department and how it felt like he was cutting my dick off from left to right that night? All for talking about Mr. Boggs and the drugs being peddled through his piece of shit department, along with his deputies, fucking girls who were blacked out. What proof do I have? Well, let's see, I was there in a couple of situations, obviously not fucking them. Pussy? Ugh. Plus, I was the one they came to talk about it. What am I supposed to do? Go tell Blitzen, Patrick Blitzen Boggs? You all must think of him a little too highly or something. So shall I talk about the other women that woke up drugged when they were younger with one of the Boggs men in their beds? And that's 100% factual. 100%. People think eye diversion and me jumping with my legs is, you're lying. We know it. Well, if you read the medical file, you'd understand you people make me a nervous wreck. Every one of you. I was raped by I don't know how many members of law enforcement. Even if you haven't raped me, you still make me nervous. I don't know why. It's annoying as fuck. It makes me physically ill. But that's something they just don't care about. So, Charmaine McGuffey going into Kentucky to help with the Covington situation at Yachta Club. Pretty cool lesbian place. I used to enjoy it when I was younger. Maybe it's time we take a trip to Mason County. And if you'll notice, Mr. Boggs is president of the Kentucky Sheriff's Association, all, 120-some counties? I'm sure they have gay old times on the taxpayer dollars at their meetings. It's funny. One of them came at me and was like, "You talk about your family publicly so fucking dirty." I don't claim him. Apparently Patrick's related to my mother's side of the family somehow, if nothing more than just fuck connections. I don't claim him. And I don't claim his wife either. Hi, Christy. She looked at me like a piece of fucking filth. Ellen apologized for her, and I looked at Ellen and whispered, "She's always been a bitch." Ellen probably didn't even know that I knew Christy. Which technically I don't know her, and I wouldn't want to. Other than forced interactions with her. You asked Christy Boggs about the handcuffs and Patrick. Yes, I do believe I'll go there too. You can ask Mrs. Christy Boggs about Mr. Boggs enjoy being arrested unofficially. Little too personal? I found it a little too personal, doctors lying and diddling me, along with law enforcement. I found that a little too personal. So like I said, you can ask Christy about Mr. Boggs liking being arrested. Off the record. You know what happens to bad little boys. Don't you remember Donna's lessons about tampons up bad little boys' butts? Unofficially, that's the word. Patrick enjoys being arrested unofficially, as do some of the other Mason County men. Man, how do I get my woman to stick her face in my sweaty armpit? Well, if you're into that, and your woman's not, you're probably not going to sway her. Man, I don't know what to tell you all. You decided you were straight a long time ago or something. Now you're crying because your women are boring. Boring. You ought to be fucking grateful. Just like I told Aflac that time. You don't know how lucky you are. Both of you. You both need knocked in the head, quite honestly. Acting that way towards each other. You don't know how fucking lucky you are. You know how Aaron Flack interpreted it? That I was screwing Chelsea. What an idiot. Be grateful for one another and for what you do have. Quit making each other extra miserable. You don't know how lucky you are. And Aflac interpreted it as that I was screwing his girlfriend. I thought, what in the hell has this world come to? I've been